Dreamscape presents Blameless and Abaddon by James Morrow, narrated by Eric G. Dove. For Catherine Ann Smith, with love abiding. In the underworld the shades writhe in fear, the waters and all that live in them are struck with terror. Sheol is laid bare, and Abaddon uncovered before God. The Book of Job 26, 5-6. The conservative has but little to fear from the man whose reason is the servant of his passions, but let him beware of him in whom reason has become the greatest and most terrible of the passions. These are the wreckers of outworn empires, disintegrators, deicides. J.B.S. Haldane, Daedalus. Book 1. Necessary Evils. Chapter 1. Of all the newsworthy objects torn loose from the ice by the great Arctic earthquake of 1998, among them an intact Viking ship and the frozen carcass of a woolly mammoth, the most controversial by far was the 2-mile-long body of God. The debate, oddly enough, centered not on the Corpus Dei's identity. The body was accompanied, as we shall see, by an impeccable pedigree, but rather on its metaphysical status. Was God dead, as the nihilists and the New York Times believed? Only in a coma, as the Vatican and Orthodox Judaism dearly hoped? Or the Protestant consensus? Was the Almighty as spiritually alive as ever, having merely shed his fleshly form as a molting mayfly sheds its husk? Prior to the peculiar events that constitute my tale, it looked as if the mystery might never be solved. The Corpus Dei's proprietors, devout Southern Baptists all, were ill-inclined to sanction platoons of scientists tramping around inside his brain, leaving muddy footprints on his dendrites as they attempted to ascertain his degree of life or death. Moreover, as upholders of the theologically comforting mayfly theory, God's keepers rightly feared that such an expedition might yield signs of neural activity, thereby reinforcing the far more troublesome coma theory. As for me, I wholeheartedly agreed with the ban on journeys into his cerebrum. Being the devil, I have strong opinions about how human beings ought to conduct themselves. Unlike the Baptist views, however, my own are shaped more by prudence than by piety. It is always wise, I feel, to leave well enough alone.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?